I'm hiding my microphone from the wind. Good morning, everybody. I am outside of Goldfield, Nevada at the Gemfield Rockhounding locality. And I think this is a in particularly interesting place because, well, it is a self-serve feed egg. And it is a very windy March day. And let's go check the sign out. I'll explain it to you. I have high hopes for it. I've heard good things. So you can either pause it and look at the sign, or there will be a photo of this up on my website. There'll be a link down in the description box. But basically, this is all under claim, and there's a number of different locations that you can visit. There's a bigger version of the map. And, well, it is $1 per pound. And you drive around, hit up the different spots, come and scale it, right? And, well, you can pay via, well, I'm going to do PayPal. But, yeah, you can pay with cash if you want. But I have high expectations here. We slept here last night. It was very, very windy. But we saw some burrows. So, kind of fun. But, yeah, to me, that looks like rhyolite right there. Jadeite, I think not. Jasper, sure. Chalcedony, sure. We'll do some identification of the stuff. The different locations all have a nice little sign, which is pretty good. So, red jasper and various colors of opalite. Yeah, we'll see here. You know, the kind of theme here is there's a lot of float on the surface, things that people have picked through. If you want something big, chunky, whatever, I think you have to dig. Let's walk around and see. Okay, yeah, I mean, that is definitely all like chalcedony. From their photo, it almost looked like a rhyolite, but yeah, that's kind of neat. Like somebody's working on this. You can see here what we got. I'm really only interested in a couple of choice pieces, probably. Something nice. But yeah, you can see, look, they're working this giant seam here. Very cool. Ton of work. I don't even know if it's a seam so much as it is just like a big layer. All right. Yeah, I mean, like even something of this size, Sarah, I think I'd be happy with a couple of decent cutters. But yeah, look at that. What do you got?
It's too small, but it's a fun pattern.
Yeah, if that was a larger piece, I think we could go with that. That one would be fun to cut.
Yeah.
Yes. Sarah doesn't have a microphone on because I'm trying to shield the mic. That one's a little scraggly. I'm surprised. I imagined like the discards would not be like baseball size. I was imagining like a ton of like little chips, and there's plenty here, which that's pretty good to see. I mean, most people don't even have a giant saw. Kind of what I'm looking for here, be maybe like some pieces like this, where you just really have like some interesting colors and patterns to it that I could use for some future intarsia work. And when I say that, people don't know what intarsia is. I have a whole playlist, but basically it is cutting up stones and then reassembling them to make another stone. So it's an additive form of lapidary. And you're always looking for colors and textures and things like that. They also built roads into all of these spots. So like you can literally like drive right up, which is fantastic for so many people. I don't want that. That's got a big fracture. But you can see they're working that layer here. Material's actually better than what I thought it was going to be. There's not many photos online that are good, or video online that I would say is good, of this location. So yeah, now it's like more red over here, whereas over there it was more like tans and opaques. Yeah, look at that. Big. Very nice looking. I think I might take that one. And so yeah, we're at the number 1 site, Chalcedony. So then we continue up here and we go to the lavender purple. I apologize for my lack of a zoom lens. I'm curious about that pit over there that's fenced off. We'll have to go over there and look. Purple lavender site. You can kind of see it in that. There's definitely some large material here if you wanted to come bring sledgehammers and pound away at it. Not really much lavender here. We get a lot of whites, which for me, that's fine. But it's more like of a rust color on everything, in everything. I guess that's the lavender that they're talking about here. Don't know if I want this piece a little scraggly. Okay, yeah, I mean that does have that lavender color. That's a nice piece. They're not the friendly type. They're not the ones that have been hand-fed in town. So even though there's like these very dedicated spots, like you can just go meandering here and go poke around. There's like material like on the ground.
This seems like it's too bad it's kind of out of the way to get here, but good spot to bring some kids who like rocks, because you can just pick something up and it looks good. It's not a thunder egg that you have to go figure out how to cut or you're going to smash it. And if you don't want to walk very far, you're driving right up to the site. So good for everybody.
It really is. It does seem like a very cool place. I like this, and we haven't even gone to it all. It would be nice if it was a little less windy, but that's a us problem, I guess. No, nothing. Mystery of the pit solved. I hope the color comes through on camera, but this is a big seam or layer of the lavender, which is very pretty to see. So we were just right over there, what you see in the center of your screen, and drove down here. And this is the Pink Plum Rose location, and it kind of has that appearance. Okay. I'm surprised at the volume of it. It does seem very crumbly. I don't know how much of this we will be taking home, unless of course we can find some pieces that are not really that fractured up. A lot of this just looks super fractured here. Like,
It feels very like it just wants to crumble.
yeah. And like maybe that seam in this, but yeah, it really wants to explode. I mean, this piece here kind of has that like faint gray appearance, and it doesn't look super fractured. I wonder if this would be cuttable. those lines in it look healed. That might be doable.
And the purple reminds me of the bubble opal.
I was literally going to say that. Sarah's stealing my lines. Yes, this reminds me of the opal in Milford. If you didn't see that video, go check it out. But yeah, it really reminds me of that, which is quite cool to see. Like, the colors are impressive. But yeah, I'm a little worried about like trying to hammer these things out. Like, is it gonna become all the little crumbly bits that you see around it?
There's no gray rocks. Gray.
I did say that. You're
These
calling
are
me
gray.
out. Yes, I was mentioning there's no good gray rocks, but here we are. I mean, that's just like, you could just admire that for the beauty. Here, feel how light this is. It's like way lighter than what you expect. I don't want it, but.
What do you think? Are either these very solid?
Oh, that'd be fun. I could use that in some pieces.
And that one's just more plain gray.
Yeah.
I like the texture on the top of that one.
That's fun.
What's happening there?
All of this material, these lines, they feel entirely healed, but like this rock would be really good for me. But I don't think I would try cutting any of this without stabilizing. Like, I would do the whole cactus juice stabilization process, because I worry about it just like a microfracture propagating in the slab saw. Some of the other stuff seemed really solid though.
Yeah, this stuff is just different.
Yeah, so this is kind of where we camped last night, and not jadeite. And you'll see what I'm talking about. That is not a piece of jade. This is just more opal, right? Highly silicated material. This stuff out here does seem a lot more well-formed and a little more nice, decent blocks, like this block right here. That's very cuttable, okay? But yeah, you can just see the abundance of green here. This is a nice cutter. This stuff's way more well-formed than the other locations.
It's not as shiny.
Ugh, too big. Yeah, I think it's not as of a flashy material, but like a deep green from a lapidary perspective is pretty valuable.
Yeah, it's not as fun to collect as the stuff with the patterns.
True.
Like, it might be a little overlooked. Although this is a really big, clearly they've dug a lot, so somebody's
And there's
wants it.
diggings on the other side of the road, which we'll walk around too. See a very impressive seam. People have been working. A little too scraggly for my liking. What are you finding? Oh, that's kind of fun. That's cool. Variation in that.
Yeah. Oh, if that came from here.
I don't know. This isn't. I don't think so.
Artifact.
Artifact.
It's sharp.
Oh yeah. Do you want your artifact?
No. We can't take artifacts. You
Oh.
have to leave them. We're following the rules.
I find it to be absolutely hilarious. The number of people that leave comments on videos where I find a chipped up, broken rock out in the desert. And they're like, that's an ancient artifact. Don't touch it. And you're like, dude, there's way more broken rocks than there are artifacts. Hate to break it to you. But that's just the reality of rocks. Not every chipped up rock is an ancient artifact, knife, scraper, whatever. It's just wishful thinking. It's like looking up at the sky and seeing a cloud that looks like a dog and being like, I can't believe there's a giant sky dog. It's the same. It's the same. Some fun chunks in here that look freshly dug and placed on the edge. I think I will capitalize on somebody's hard work. Has a layer of chalcedony on it that's kind of botryoidal.
Oh, huh. That's neat. That's different.
Yeah.
It's got that
Oh, that
hard
is
line,
cool.
and then it kind of switches up there.
Yeah.
Right along
It looks solid too. Throw it in the bucket. Normally, at the end of the video, we do kind of a wrap-up thing where we look at all the material all cleaned up and stuff. We're still doing that. But I would say, come here. Come here now. The Gemfield website hasn't been updated or has gone down.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
So what is the current status of this? What does the future look like for it? I don't know. But I can tell you that it's worth it, especially if you're not super physically able to go climb mountains. You see the car right there, right? Pull up, collect. But yeah, I could see this type of thing going away at any time. So come on out, get your material, and be happy with what you got. I'm collecting a little bit more probably than I intended because, well, never know. You never know. What do you got?
It's like a confetti.
Oh. That's cool.
I got a couple pieces already.
Oh.
We don't need that one. You wanna take
Yeah.
it? No,
That
one's
was like a
not
block
good.
and not like a wedge.
Yeah, I got a couple pieces.
This is the red jasper location, and everything seems like ultra tiny little shards, and just the general area that's been worked seems really small. So not sure what to make of that. Also, red jasper is quite prolific. I mean,
it's not really jasper.
yeah, it's like a red opal.
Yeah.
It's like brick red. But brick red is also the most unappealing of all the reds.
Yeah, comment if you disagree.
Yeah, comment if you disagree. I like the baby Joshua trees.
Yeah.
And it's it might be a baby, but that's probably fairly old, and it's I don't know, 3 feet. On occasion out here, you come across some pieces where you're like, oh, that's really cool. And it's just this alluvium float material out here. Let's try to pop, here, you film me, I'll try to pop that out. Everything is just so friggin' sharp.
Yeah. Not too good. The ground's not too hard.
I don't know. Okay. At the very least, I want to take that back to the car and wash it and look for fractures.
Yeah.
Round 2 of this joke. Nice. Actually, it's opalite.
No, but you did it yourself the first time. I thought you didn't tell me you were changing it.
This is nice.
Is it?
No, it's opalite.
Oh.
Yeah, that's kind of a nice specimen. I don't know if that's a throw it in the bucket. That's a pocket rock until we get to the scale, I think.
Kind of like just walking around in here.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're going to find
It's
versus...
it's not a spot. It's just like the desert.
Yeah, I'm sure you could explore a lot out here. If you, the donkeys know where the best stuff is.
That's pretty good. I dropped it and it didn't blow up. That's a good sign. Yeah. That's coming home.
Okay.
That. Might end up looking through people's discards, but this is what I'm taking, minus I don't know, 2 pounds or whatever. So we are at 70. Thoughts? What do you think? I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I think Gemfield was fantastic.
Agree?
I don't think anybody's really done justice to this place. Like, the material looks pretty dang good, highly accessible.
Yeah.
It's cool that you can just come out. There's not like a scheduling, right? Like, you're not like, like coordinating with somebody. And I like it. I like it. I think the material's cool. The only downside would be probably the location. Like, we're really middle of nowhere, Nevada. Here, it's kind of where we're at on the map. Yeah, that's probably the only downside of this. But if you make the trip
Probably the weather is a little rough in the winter and the summer, so pick your timing.
The sign out of the road says if there's snow, don't go. So I would probably follow that advice. This is the material from Gemfield. Obviously, it doesn't all fit in frame here. Before we kind of get into this material, what it is, all of that good stuff, you will notice there are some little stickies here. We collected material at 4 of the 5 locations, technically 5 if you want to count Sarah's red rock there from that spot. But using a Mohs hardness, won't open. Using the hardness pick set, which I'll put a link down below to this. This is the one to get. I did some hardness testing here, and this material is a 6 to a 7. And what I mean by that is a 6 will not scratch it, but a 7 will. So somewhere it's in that range. It could be 6.1. It could be 6.9. You get the drift, right? So a 7 will scratch this, but an 8 won't. Wait, did I say that right? Yeah, a 7 won't scratch it, an 8 will scratch it, and that's how this kind of goes through. So pretty hard material, and the big rock that you saw us collect, you want to get a little water on that? The big rock you saw us collect, I started cutting it, and this is kind of the first slab off of that, and I can even hear, you learn your saws, right? And I can hear when I'm cutting something really, really hard, and this is really hard. So it's going to definitely take a pretty good polish. And you can kind of even hear a little bit, like, it's kind of like clanky. So cool material. What is it though? I think that is good to answer. It is SiO2 plus junk. I know people don't like it when I say that, but it is definitely not opalite. And if we listen to what Mindat has to say on it, which that's a good source, opalite. Synthetic opalized glass used in jewelry. Obviously, it's not that. It's also used for impure, colored varieties of common opal. They also say that it is confusing and an unnecessary designation which should be avoided. I kind of like that. If you listen to people that actually collect this material, work this type of material, Jasper. I think that's probably the best way of summing it up. We have a bunch of interesting Jaspers here, and yeah, what to say. It's cool material. It's very colorful. I would highly recommend going out there. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
You know, like it was very fun to be like hit the different spots and have a big variety in such a small location. I thought that one was kind of fun. That's more specimen than like obviously you're not gonna do anything with it, but it looks cool.
Yeah, a lot of real neat colors and patterns, and it was easy to get to. I wished we would have found that a bit bigger.
Yeah. So having gotten some of this stuff, cleaned it up, I've started to cut it, I would 100% go back to Gemfield.
Yeah.
A couple of things. Do not attempt to camp at Gemfield, right? Like we camped at Gemfield, but we have a very unique camping setup, which means we can camp in places where there's no flat places to camp. There's not a singular flat spot up there, I swear. But on the road into that area, there's definitely some good flat spots you could go check out.
I think Google Maps has a little place for where the flat camp spot is.
Yes.
We probably would have camped there, but somebody was already there.
But yeah, I'm very pleased with how this stuff looks. Like, it's very colorful and unique material. And I love this concept, right, of a like self-serve honor system feed egg. And you know, one thing that we talked about off camera, which I have to mention here, I paid for this material, right? Like we came home, I PayPal'd him $70 because on the scales I was like $72 or 72 pounds, but you know, buckets and bins and stuff. So 70, sent him the money. That is definitely not always the case in the world of rockhounding and YouTubers. Many of them get the material for free, and many of them are also selling the material, so they have a financial incentive to talk up the material. We always pay when we go to feed eggs so that we can share with you the honest experience of what the material is and isn't, and what is good and what is not good. And that's the way I choose to do it. A couple of the green pieces that we picked up, I would not have picked up. They're kind of scraggly, I guess. In comparison, some of the more like solid pieces, I think will do a lot better, right? Like that will cut really nicely. Yeah, so for the green stuff, I would probably focus on some more blocks, I guess.
I feel like we were there a really short time at the green spot.
Yeah.
It was one of the later spots, and we're like, we already got so much, and we just kind of grabbed a few.
What do you, I mean, you've never gone to a thing, well, both of us, we've never gone to a thing like that. What do you think? Do you have a favorite type of material up there?
I mean, probably this stuff is the most interesting. This kind of got some like dots in it more, and then that's just green, and that's kind of interesting. But this got all like the circles and stuff. And
I think this stuff is going to be really cool, but I need to stabilize it. So I think this is great material, but all of these fractures,
very brittle.
A lot of them are healed. I put them under the digital microscope, and I think it would do fantastic provided we ensure that nothing bad happens to it in the cutting process. That would be on fun.
Yeah, a little less exciting.
I definitely think these two locations are really good. And once again, there will be all photos of this stuff up on the website. There'll be a link down in the description box below. And let me know your thoughts on going out to Gemfield.
Did we talk about how easy it was already?
I think we talked about that a lot. Yeah, it's really easy, everybody. Like
everybody can go, kids, adults, people with limited mobility can drive right up and pick the stuff up, and don't gotta dig, don't gotta walk far. Take as much or as little as you want. Yeah, very good. As long as you can get yourself out to middle of nowhere, Nevada. If you drive through Goldfield and you see a guy walking a donkey, you can stop and pet it. We didn't know that. Now we know. Next time if we see the guy with the donkey, because we couldn't pet the other donkeys.
No, we couldn't.
They didn't want us to pet them.
Well,
But that one in town probably did.
yeah. I think
That's the insider tip.
I think there's a big difference between the Goldfield city donkeys that come up to cars for food and like the middle of nowhere donkeys.
No, I mean the donkey on the
yeah.
on the bridle and on the lead.
We saw a video of the guy taking the donkey to the bar.
Yes.
We don't normally we don't normally go to bars in general, and we definitely don't go to bars on trips. But okay, if there's a donkey in the bar, I would have to go get a beer and hang out with the donkey.
If we see him walking the donkey in town, which we did see, we'll just stop and be like, "Hey, which bar are you headed to? Which one of the two?"
Yeah.
And then we'll be like, "We're going to a bar. Sorry, Leica."
I've always wanted to buy a drink for a donkey.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Let me know your thoughts down below. I appreciate you. Thanks for making it to the end here. There's, like I said, there's a bunch of links down below. And yeah, highly recommend it. Very cool place.
Look how fuzzy that one is.
Yes.